waves. I hear our voices echo as we're standing side by side. An open window lets in light. Turn my eyes up to the sky, questioning if to someone will come our way, Mr. Future. If there is still a chance, go again. You can't move me, you can't break me. You will always look right through me. I will falter, I will stumble, but I'll keep on suffering. Never give up, never give in. I can't let it end in failure. Or my imagination fighting to believe, believing in something. You can't move me, you can't break me. You will always look right through me. I will falter, I will stumble, but I must just carry on. Never give up, never give in. I can't let it end in failure. Or my imagination fighting to believe, believing in something. Believing in something.
Okay, we have our new decks. So, how are we gonna test them?
That's a good point.
Follow me. Oh, and we won't need our disguises this time.
This is going to end horribly.
Ah,
Whoa,
it's a lot of yarn.
whoa.
Took you guys long enough.
You did a great job.
Wait, what?
Now, we had a deal?
A deal? How? How could you? We worked together. We dueled together. I trusted you.
First off, it's been less than a week. Second of all, I owe you nothing. And finally, this is something I've wanted for over 5 years. 5 years! To finally be free from my father and his accursed criminal empire!
What could they possibly have to offer you to make you join their team when you could, if you're trying to escape a criminal empire? Wait, isn't that being a hypocrite? You know Team Liberty calls all the shots, right? We need to distract them for this plan to work.
Got it.
But we had a deal! And you know very well what my father is.
So, now you know their true colors. Using people for their own game. If you want to get away from your problems, running is the answer. You have to fight!
And with a bit of help, you can create your own future. And if not, we'll help you break through the obstacles in your way. So get up and fight! Your friends, they are your power!
You have no idea what the Lockhart Familia is even like.
We don't care!
Get up and fight!
Well, isn't that nice? Why don't we just end this already?
You know what? You're right.
That was a good punch. But violence doesn't solve anything, you know. You know how we settle things in this world.
By destroying you!
No. By dueling. What the hell are my guards doing anyway?
Well, that was easy. I swear. I could have made a picnic.
Yeah, they were pushovers in and out of the duel.
What the hell did I miss?
Well, first they attacked.
And then we beat them. It's easy.
And now it's your turn. You're all alone and all mine!
Hell no!
Hell no!
You two already had your fun with them!
Well, this is an easy fix. We will just do a relay duel, so I can beat all 3 of you at once.
We'll be taking the first move if you don't mind! And I'll draw. And I'll start off by activating my spell card, Ledger of Legend Main, moving the top 3 cards of my deck from play, and in 3 turns they're gonna come straight to my hand.
Interesting.
Yeah, except for if you lose within 3 turns, whoever's the next person will get them, which might not be the best thing.
Tristan, I'm kind of confused here. Is Hal betraying us, or is he betraying them? I don't get what's going on.
He's betraying them.
I set one monster face down defense mode. And just to be extra safe, I'll set one more card face down.
My turn then. I believe you're familiar with this card, Hal.
Or did you hear
Activate
his
magical
speech?
meltdown.
Oh no.
I add to my hand Alistair the Invoker.
Luckily, I have nothing he can
Same
use.
deck as you, Hal?
Well, he's at least running the Invokers.
I
Those
know
will be
summon
from many
Alistair the
decks.
Invoker. And
It's
with
the reason
its
for that
effect,
they're so powerful and so rare.
I'll activate the invocation I just searched with Alistair's effect. And with it, I will use the Nemesis Keystone in my hand and Alistair the Invoker to summon Magalancia.
In defense mode?
What is that card?
No, we've seen
The
that in
Island
House
of
deck.
Earth.
Have we?
Magalancia.
Yeah, a while ago. Sorry, I don't really pay
Invocation.
attention to traitors.
He's not a traitor.
If you're done,
You didn't notice he got
Invocation.
punched in the face.
He still sold us out.
For a good reason.
I'll end my turn.
I draw. Can't use you right now.
You can't use him, but you can use the other card in your hand to get rid of him.
But I will use Trading to get rid of my Umber Mirage, the Elemental Lord. Allow me to draw 2 new cards.
You better hope they were good.
Well,
Well,
I think I'll set.
to be
two-
fair, this chief is cocky enough to take on all 3 of us at a life point disadvantage.
I'll set all 3 cards. 3 of these cards face down and end my turn.
I'll exchange my field spell for Mutant Evolution Lab.
Wait, what?
What the heck are mutants?
Mutant evolution, what?
With its effect, I special summon Mutant M05.
Oh, what?
Mutant M05 allows me to add any card to my hand as long as it's a mutant monster.
How do you
Like-
know what these are?
Mutant.
No, I've
has
never heard of them
46.
before.
They weren't in the card database either. At least-
These are experimental. I'll use Evolution Lab's effect.
Has another effect?
Yes. Much as I really love to have these monsters in my hand, I'll put Mutant Beast to the bottom of my deck to draw.
I'd want to recycle and dig for resources.
I'll use Mutant M05's effect, banishing Mutant Arsenal in order for me to special summon a monster. Like Mutant Beast for my deck.
You mean depending on what you remove from play, you can get a different monster?
Exactly. You're learning.
Do they
I
all
normal
have those
summon
effects?
Alistair the Invoker.
Oh no!
Alistair's effect allows me to search Invocation.
It's an invocation work on your graveyard too.
Does, luckily, and I only have 1, and it's not the best. If he chooses to take it, he's a fool.
I'll use my Invocation to fusion summon Invoked Kakaitis.
Poseidus, Eidolon of the Water.
Invocation allows me to recycle Alistair to my hand. I'll switch Magalancia to attack mode,
Uh-oh.
and let's proceed with the battle phase.
This isn't going to be good.
Mutant Beast. Set siege onto the face down.
Well, what you destroyed was my Lil Trooper. And when destroyed, I can special summon 1 level 2 Lil Warrior for my deck faced in defense position. So I'll summon Lil Trooper.
Could be worse. He could have had the fire one, and then we would have been in real trouble.
Magalancia.
Yeah.
Crush the little trooper.
I think it goes without saying that these troopers come in a set of 3. So I know what's going to happen now, since Kasai's can attack in defense position.
But it uses its attack instead of its defense. So it's not as cool as, other cards.
Yeah,
Either way, it destroys your little trooper for a third
but
time.
that lets me summon forth Element Saber Makani!
You really do need your field spell.
I'll end my turn.
Well, in that case, I'll draw.
Interesting. I think he's got Hal on the ropes here, man.
He might, so gets prepared to get ready
I'll
to duel.
flip up Element Saber, Makani.
I kind of got my hands full over here at the moment, dude.
What? You mean your guards aren't on the face on the ground like mine are?
I only got 3, just still on 2 left.
Activate Makani's effect now. Sending Element Saber Nelu from my hand to the graveyard, I can add Saber or Lord from my deck to my hand. So I think I'll add Element Saber, more hue. Next, I set one more card face down.
That's a full back row right there.
And I'll end my turn.
That was worth it.
Full back row, but nothing to do with it. Unfortunate. I'll use Mutant Evolution Lab's effect to place a mutant on the bottom of my deck to draw. I'll put another mutant beast on the bottom to draw.
Come on, Hal.
I never
that's
summoned
number
Mutant
5.
SCP-46. Its effect. Add a mutant spell or trap. This time.
Come on.
I'll add to my hand Mutant Cry.
Another trap card? Wait. You don't even know what that trap card does.
It's getting problematic.
I'll set a card face down. Battle. My Kaitus will attack into your Makani.
Makani won't be sticking around. I activate my continuous trap card, Dark Factory of more protection. Once per turn, I can send a monster from my hand or field to the graveyard to draw a card. Goodbye, Makani.
That just means you take more damage.
Now, if I activate this little friend of mine,
My
Why didn't it
monster's in
activate?
defense mode.
why didn't it activate?
Mutant ST-46 attack directly.
Now it's letting me activate my pinpoint card. This lets me resurrect a monster from my graveyard that's level 4 below. Best part is, it can't be destroyed for the rest of the turn. Welcome back, Makani.
Yeah, but that doesn't get us out of that situation. It just makes it less problematic.
I use ST-46's effect, banishing Mutant Mist from my hand in order to summon another Mutant Beast.
He's getting rid of a lot of level 8. Kind of worries me.
Well, first I'll use my Heavy Storm Dust to take care of his back row.
Oh, and now he
Either
can't-
way, welcome to the field, Mutant Beast.
Hopefully he doesn't have any Xyz to level 3 level 8s.
I'll end my turn with this.
I'll draw.
Hey, your Ledger Domain procs.
That it does. And now I'll activate Makani's effect. I think I'll send the Nelu that's in my hands to the graveyard to search for a new saber.
Wait,
Element Saber, Aina!
do you have the requirements?
I activate Mana's effect, letting me send 2 Element Sabers from my hand to the graveyard to special summon him. Well, it can be any monster, but I prefer to send my Mallow and my Aina.
That's your ace.
Come forth, my comrade in arms! Element Saber Lapalaya Mana!
You can't be
It
disturbed.
still can't get over any of my monsters.
I activate the effect of Dark Factor more production, sending Mohi away from my hand to draw a card.
I think you have the requirements.
But what that is a moot point. I have met the done it now. The conditions have been met. You see, my sabers have a trick up their sleeve. Element Saber Nelu, change your attribute to the light!
Intriguing.
I'm not stopping there. My second Halo should follow suit.
What's going on?
It's time
Mallow.
for him to. It's time for his deck to show
Too
its true
light.
colors.
And then, Aina shall become light.
They're all becoming light?
Yes, Ryan, remember when we dueled him? His deck focuses on turning the element sabers into the element he needs to require to summon.
Oh, yes.
And then the final, Morhu. Now descend from the skies, great God King of Lightning! I summon the Elemental Lord of Light, Phosphorage! And when he's summoned to the field, he destroys every single monster you control. I know it doesn't affect your Cosiris, but I still clears your board of the others!
The only downside is he can't battle this turn?
No. The drawback is if leaves the field, I cannot conduct my battle phases on my next turn.
No, well,
I think the problem is my Kaitos has too many defense points.
That's the case. But for now, I'll set one more monster face down and end my turn.
I was expecting a tiny bit more.
he just nuked your board for nothing. What are you talking about, Copper?
I still have plenty of moves. Nemesis Flag.
Nemesis? Oh, shit.
I shuffle back into my deck Mutant to M05.
I'll let you special summon that Nemesis.
Yep.
The
1100
effect of
nothing
the flag
care.
Wait,
allows me to add any Nemesis
it does.
from my deck to my hand.
It does matter. What does he have?
I'll add to my hand Arch Nemesis Ishatos.
That's why it matters.
That's not good.
Now then,
Level 11.
I
card.
banish Mutant Beast, Nemesis Keystone, and Mutant SP 46.
That's not
Pier. Ishatos.
an arch nemesis.
Exactly.
Problem is, you can only declare one
Now.
type of monster. He has multiple types.
Like your field dominated with the warrior attribute.
Sorry to break it to you, but Mana's effect protects all element sabers and lords from being destroyed by power and effect since he would summon using a fire and an earth. So try again.
I shall. Alistair the Invoker.
Uh-oh.
Another?
Use your effect to add invocation to my hand. And I'll help myself to your graveyard if you don't mind. Your Mallow and my Invoker shall create Purgatorio.
Oh. But, are we really worried?
Invocation adds Alistair back to my hand.
Well, look at it this way, Tristan. We've had 8 turns and we still haven't done any damage to him. And look at his attack points.
There's always a trick up the
Attack
sleeve.
Makani.
He just had to do that return. I activate my Wabaku. My monsters can't be destroyed and I take no damage.
Fine by me.
I would have probably have done something else, but hey. 3,000, 3,700, 1,100, and 2,900 defense, and we're facing down Elemental Lord that's of Light, 2,800 attack, mana at 24 that can't be killed by battle or effects, and 2 defense position monsters.
And 2 mystery space damage.
Well, we can see what they are, but he can't.
Yeah.
I'll end my turn.
Very well then.
During my end phase, Nemesis Keystone adds to my hand.
What?
It's part
Because
of
it's banished.
Nemesis archetypes.
I draw.
Oh no!
So,
Oh, guys!
what?
I just realised something.
What?
What?
Now that the cops know where we live, all that work I put into our little farm, It's gone to waste!
Really? You worry about that now?
Seriously.
My chickens!
Element Saber Makani's effect. Sending more heat from my hand to the graveyard, I can add a Element Saber or Elemental Lore to my hand.
Okay.
What's the gimmick this time?
That was good.
So I'll add Mowling Glacier.
The water one. the whale thingamabobby.
Mohu, change to water. The second Mohu shall follow suit.
Hey, Tristan,
What?
if we get out of this, can I take the chickens with us?
No, there's no room on what I have planned for your chickens.
Final.
So you mean I've got to release them?
They might be dead by the end of this.
Wow. Seriously, that's what you're worried about right now?
Hey, you're the one that sorted us out.
And it's not like, and the guards are face flat on, and his little friends are face down on the ground, so no big deal.
Riding forth on the regal tides, I special summon Mowling Glacier, the Elemental Lord. When summon, you're forced to discard 2 cards from your hand.
Ooh, nice discards. You were able to grab that invoker out of his hand,
Next,
but you could have done something way better.
I should have done it the other way around, but still.
Oh, hell.
This is what I'm aiming for. I construct the overlay network
Oh?
You have a level 8 Xyz?
to summon forth Aeon the Sea Castra.
Oh yeah, you have that. I forgot you had that.
Oh yeah!
I forgot you had that thing.
Aeon's effect. I banished 1 card at random from your extra deck, and his attack changes to match it.
Hey guys, how's it feel?
Except for, I think the cards that are removed from play help this person, or else that's what he would be going for it.
Oh, that's
Well, I'm not done now. That. I think I'll flip some of my monster, my morphing jar, against both discard our hand and then draw new ones.
Fine by me.
Oh.
That's not bad.
Uh,
I'm trying to get the field spell.
I activate my own magical meltdown.
This is attack,
Master
dude.
the Invoker.
yes, but it's gonna... I wonder what you gave him, though.
Now then,
Oh.
to make some space, I'll construct the overlay network using my morphing jar and my Makani.
There we go!
Yeah!
Now that will actually be of use.
Now I summon Alistair to the field in attack mode. And as you know, I get invocation straight to my hand. But I'm not done there. Talk back to more production. Send Alistair away so I can draw another card.
Oh, do it!
No.
Do it!
I can't even summon him,
Yeah.
but I'll start off there with my card of fate. Let's see if who the world decides to choose. We both choose 1 card from our decks. Then we choose 4 cards at random from our opponent's decks. The cards from our decks get mixed together, and we each get 1. So, what will you pick?
I'll pick this.
And I think these 4 cards shall suit our purposes.
I'll pick these.
Oh!
What's that thing?
That-
It's time.
That's his.
I set my true stage. The Palace of the Elemental Lords!
That sounds powerful.
And as long as this card's on the field, all monsters we control gain 200 attack and defense for each different attribute in the graveyard.
Sort of
Oh, you're
really...
a defensive monster.
I'm not done there. I would then use my Nelu's effect to change her to fire.
The fire. Oh, because you removed the fire.
Invocation! Using Alistair... Actually, I'll use my Alistair the Invoker and my Element Saber Netilu. I summon for Purgatrio!
Ooh.
Our
your
own,
one.
our own Purgatrio. Except for
Let's have Melee shift up her attack attribute. I'll make her one of the divine!
Divine.
God.
You just turned that thing into a god?
This is the power of my saber deck after all. But I think it's time I shattered all your chances of victory. I activate my trap card, Ghost of a Grudge!
It turns all his attack points to 0.
Since you have 8 or more cards in your graveyard, all your monsters lose all their attack points permanently!
You thought that you could take on all 3 of us, but you couldn't even take on 1.
To be fair, we're only heroes backup. If this duel is definitely meant to be House Shining
Yeah,
Moment.
we're definitely
No.
his cheerleaders right now.
Well, we did take down all the guards, so
Hey, do you think I look good in a miniskirt and hot box?
no, I
First off,
don't.
hang on. Effect.
No, I don't
I
think.
think I'll detach the material and return your Argoids back to break your own Purgatrio.
I don't.
And since I have a bit more of a power boost now, I think I'll have my Castrum destroy your Cosadis.
Hey, how's it feel, Mr. Policeman?
Centuria, take your arch nemesis.
I don't know. What would your female name be? Ryanita?
I don't know. Brianna?
Purgatrio, attack the flag.
He kind of still is.
Let me save a Lopper Mana. End this! Elemental Slasher!
Way to go, how? You know what? I think I forgive you, man.
How could I lose?
Oh, it's just in time. Our ride is here.
Kristen, what did you do?
I could explain how I hacked a helicopter remotely piloted here, or we could leave.
Oh, the time has finally come. O ancient creatures of ultimate destruction, you stand here, gathered in your tombs of magic and stone. Now I offer up this world as your sacrifice. Awaken and devour the old world from which together we shall build anew.
Leader, it's begun.
Hello, Carly, if that even is your real name.